Tá sé gine inis. Alright guys, tá bron an bhí feibio go bhána goin leis an mic. Ok, an féidirlibh é seo a clostáil in níis. Tásúla gom gur féidirlibh gacrod a clostáil. Just siolgaí takes nó teachtar isteachúm agus an sin súla dé tá sé tá gacrod in ard a níis. Just fanning mé ar feag nómadín go dtí ghfuil an cínta faoi sin. Ok. Se tá sé gobar níis an bhfuil. Ok. Ítach ar fad. Right. Lean míad a raig bronar faoi sin tarlín golóir rudaí leis an technoliacht agus chun sé staachar an obair bronar faoi ach a railinn ítach ar fad. Na nótaí bríd hí tú géir fáil má cáil na nótaí. Tá na nótaí ar fáil ar an gcúrsa tá an nascíos for anybody who's looking for notes, obviously this is a free session. Everything here is free. You can come in and just write down whatever you wish. But in order to do all this, I need some support from people in terms of purchasing courses. There's an enormous effort involved in this. Everything that I'm doing would normally cost people €150, 75 for the oral and 75 for the written. So I don't want to push it too much, but like it is a free service what you're at this morning, and I'd appreciate any support people give. It works out for the amount of material we're going to cover. It works out at less than €1 a day between here and the beginning of June. So it's phenomenal value. It's way better than anything you'd ever get in terms of grinds or whatnot, and there's nothing else out there like it. So hopefully if you go to courses.leavingcertirish.com, you can click on the link below in the notes under this session, and you can get in straight away. And every single morning at 11 o'clock I post the notes for each day's session, which you can download and print out. Alright. Okay, so we'll crack on here because tá galore ibrila denugin. Tommy Geary on ceach seo chur Greek riv fi cúig chun hain más féidir. I'm trying to make the class a little bit shorter if possible, because I just want to be as quick and snappy as I can each day. Obviously we're just getting used to it. So scríbhí síos pe nótaí atá ag tastal uibh. Alright, lean míad a raig. So inné bhímar a kaint mother or a kaint faoin tema. We're talking about the theme. And I suppose ultimately I was asking people, what did you think the theme was? Well, essentially it's Fimínocht agus aspa Christíochta winter na hÉireann. So the hypocrisy and the lack of Christian values, if you like, or the lack of Christianity, of the or lack of Christian value, should I say, of the people of Ireland. So that's essentially what the theme is, on tema is Fimínocht. And I explained yesterday grammatically how important that term was. So is it Fimínocht as aspa Christíocht a winter na hÉireann sna seascadaí in the 60s is príomhhéimid an drama show. So the hypocrisy and the lack of Christian love or Christian values of the people of Ireland in the 60s were the main theme of this drama, or main themes. Banog hinanta agus hénta abba Marni Cahasig a toga. Marni Cahasig was an innocent and naive person who was raised or reared go credúnach agus go Christúil, so in a Christian and respectable manner. So two terms that obviously are in the drama and you should know, but if you don't, you certainly need to know it. So credúnach an hovdach agus Christúil, Christian. So she was reared in a Christian and respectable way. Currach anavim an gredav in a chak. Huge emphasis was placed upon an gredav, on faith. Gredav is faith in a chak. So fekimid on chiluk, we see the family an glunia on their knees igrá an choron for saying the rosary. Vrish mora coundan the rilacha is tovachti de chalin og eganam. So Mora broke one of the rules that was most important. So reverse syntax, one of the most important rules the Chalín ag an am for a young girl at the time. Pádraig she torach, again in an Annalise, if you don't know the phrase, torach, she became pregnant. Agus I na fosta, and if you see this agus here, it means while rather than and. Snashaskady in the 60s, Bevoran Scanale, it was a huge scandal. Bevoran Scanale, it was a massive scandal. The Chalín Óg Tuatha for a young country girl. The Chalín Óg Tuatha for a young country girl. Chalín or Beidir, I'm kind of putting in that question, you know, Beidir, any girl at all. So in the 60s, it was a huge scandal for a young girl. A bheith ag umper clina, to be pregnant. Ag umper clina. So we've two terms here, right? Ivra hain, we've got turach, and ivra do, we've got, so ivra hain there, we've got turach. Agus ivra do, ag umper clina. Gan far céalacha, without having a husband. Now, the far céala bit is where we're heading, but of course it's not a far céala that she had at all. So Pádraig McCorrick. So there's our cohix, there's the context. Gurmaga Tahila, Sheila says, Aintim Latter, Yowser Fad, the note I assume you're talking about. So there's some proof, guys, of someone that's very happy with the notes. Agus an Corsa Gadisha. So, Shin and Cohix, there's your context. We want to move on now to the next bit, talking about Pádraig himself. So, Fiminocht is the main thing that we are looking at. Kecho Fiminocht is a thought on far show, on far credunach show, this respectable man that he's supposed to be, Marvost or Sculla, as a school teacher. And as we all know, all school teachers are extremely respectable, myself included. Or there we go. That's what some people might say or might not. Anyway, Arailin Gudi and Kate could Ella. So Kupla na an Shaw atá fearhavdach. So I'm going to just give you a few moments, make sure you can get down all these adjectives about Pádraig. So an Keikon atá again. You may not have heard this before. Well, you may have heard your parents using it, right? A plomosi, right, is a flatterer, right? Now, in more colloquial terms, he's full of bull, right? He's trying to come out with lovely poetic words, trying to entice more, and we'll be coming to that in a few minutes. Asquelga. So it's plomosi, he's a flatterer. Me, no, it's dinna me Yilish, he's disloyal, right? So dinna thought dealish, someone who is loyal, dealshucht, loyalty. Lehlach, he is a selfish person, right? So he's completely and utterly selfish. It's dinna lehlach. We also have santach, which is greedy, and just be careful, there's a difference between the two. Ní dinna santach, wouldn't use greedy with Pádraig, okay? So lehlach is a better term. Dinna mi ragrach, he's irresponsible, right? It's dinna mi ragrach, fragrach, the irresponsibility, dulgashi, or duties. So we use these two phrases interchangeably. It's dinna surach, he's miserable. Now be careful, because later on I have a word very similar to surach, and I don't want you to mix it up. So surach, he's miserable. It's dinna surach. Inye is feminoch, like shachas mali, other than mali, is feminig ids gilair. We were saying yesterday, they're all hypocrites. Gach dinaka. Is dinna glick, right? Now, I always, when I'm in class, I'm trying to describe this. I always try to just explain to students, you know, a dinna air mule is somebody who's intelligent, but dinna glick is dinna glick, oh, he's very smart. Do you know what I mean? You all know when you use that term, or you hear someone say to it, God, aren't you very smart altogether, right? And that's where we mean glick. It's clever as well, you know, but Sachosha is Sachohek in this context. It's dinna glick ar valach, right? He's a kind of a smart arse, really, is what we're trying to say, I suppose. August is even on Nasho's Buchel Bore, he's a cowboy, right? Is buchel bora e. And don't read too much into that, but is buchel bora e. He's a cowboy. Agus is dinner or chodoch e. Now you've come across gone out nav or chodoch. Clever as in sly, yes, sly, glick, smart in an Irish context. That's what we'd say. So chodoch, Anawa Gormagat, Emma. Chodoch, never chodoch you would know as in harmless. So must in chodoch who you're a harmful person. You're somebody that causes harm to others. So Tana Nahana Sho Galer Intoch Tovda. All of these are really important to know. Le gach character you've got to have as many Nahana agus adiochti agus is federlat. Okay, mar bhfuil ein ceis lean mé raig. So tá ceire llaunan a gum inis tá golóir stuff an seo. So dinne mór le rá ishe Pádraig McCarthaig. Now this is where I start always. In your answers, this would be where this first sentence is what you really need to have. Dinne mór le rá ishe Pádraig McCarthaig. Pádraig McCarthaig, there's a few phrases around this translation. So he's a big noise. He's big-headed. More than anything else, he's self-important at some level. Dar leis féin, according to himself. Ach, I rihan drama, but during the drama, now can I just point out a grammatical mistake that people make all the time? Irih, okay? That's known as a revocal cohita. When you have a revocal cohita, and in tomorrow's lesson, by the way, I'm going to go through the top 10 grammatical things that you can all start working on. So this kind of stuff is what I'll be looking at. Ire is revocal cohita. You must have the tisha ginneruk after it. Okay? So if you revocal cohita, it needs tisha ginneruk. Drama is a masculine word, so on remains as on. But crucially, this is where I see it wrong all the time. People put in H's here. You do not put in a H and a D or a T. Tisha ginneruk. Iver uha. Okay? So ire on drama. Do not write down ire on grama with a DH. So during the drama, find me the mock, gwilche mi-yilish. We find out that he is mi-yilish. We had it earlier. He is disloyal da van Kele. He's disloyal to his wife. Dawara, to Mora herself. Agus ahinin and her daughter, his own daughter. Agus Dondara van Kele aviga, and also to the second wife he had. Okay? So, little small grammatical thing again. Don't forget, ahinin is her daughter, ahinin is his daughter. And it's counterintuitive, but you've got to be careful with that, because when you're writing your answers, nothing worse than reading somebody's work where they have written down ahinin when they mean his and ahinin when they mean her. That's really bad, so don't do that. Ahinin Pádraig. Pádraig recognizes Egan Rinke. He recognizes Egan Rinke the dance Ijach na Scoile in the schoolhouse. Gur Colleen Sinanta Naver Choduk I Mora. So he recognizes Gur Colleen Sinanta that she's an innocent, harmless girl. So this is what Pádraig figures out Egan Rinke Sachach Scoile. Crunche Anasim Inti. He shows great interest in her. Crunche Anasim Inti her fad. Mar Capenshe Gamegshe Eske Galore do. It'll be easy enough for him. Chun I Avala Chuige. So that means to entice him, to entice her towards him. In other words, to capture her, if you like, to woo her is the phrase that people use in English. Marshin, therefore, Shulan she awalya in Enochlehi, he walks home with her in Enochlehi, agus fekemid an chui a valenche I le kaint yas. Now, if you have your coped and trial osta cormac, you'll see we've got two quotes here now. I've specifically written in the first quote and the second quote because this is this kaint illata that he's using, this kind of flowery fibre bidjack, this flowery language atá an úsáid aige, right? So dhéanach sé don de éidir gal lehan de aigin bheag bhóver. So he's using these kind of poetic terms, right? Déidir gal lehan, your bright, broad face, the aigin bheag bhóver, your graceful little face. You know, these are kind of terms that are attracting her. Tá sé I giri I bhela. You know, Bwala Mogar don sail, I like to announce to the world, Gur Misha Dolanon, that I'm your partner, agus Gur Tusa Mustor, and that you're my love. So, an kaint atá in úsáide is rud orchodach atá siúlige. Is gníomh orchodach It's an harmful act, if you like. Okay? Cé cuid eile. Bhfuil ein ceistan sin? Let me write good and Cé cuid eile. Reached Tuggy she's pay notice me live take down any notes you need. So August should not grab a law river for anyone who wasn't here before. Shoggy stop pay chachtrachty is meaniv. Send in any messages you wish. August is federal me the law shall like must mean must feder. Okay. In she and shed the wara, he tells Mora Gulua Saturi. So very early on, Saturi in the courtship. You may not have come. People use the term clowness a lot because it's, I suppose, a more common term. But the term for a courtship is Surrey. And if you talk to any of your parents or particularly your grandparents, you know, how many people here have heard your grandparents saying, and how many people hear your grandparents saying, are you courting anyone, or is he courting her, or whatever? It comes from the term courting, right? But directly asked Berla, courtship is what we're talking about. So courtship, just write it up here so you know exactly the term. Okay, a courtship is what we're talking about. That looks like crutship. A courtship is what we're talking about. Saturi Gwilche Posa. So he tells Mora very early on in the courtship, and don't forget after Sa in this case we need, with feminine term, we need to have a T. So Saturi Gwilche Posta. Ke Gwil a Vankela teen agus log, even though his wife is teen or tine agus log is sick and weak, agus galar gan lice or he, and she has an incurable disease of some phrase. Okay, so the term is galar dolaista or galar gan lice, an incurable disease. Urhi on her, so any illnesses you have, being urt, you know, to slide on arm as an example. Danish chuilerud. Now anyone who's ever been to Connemara knows well that they don't say gach rud, they say chuilerud. So Danish chuilerud, no gach ein rud, come mora a vela chuige gan bhuil. So he makes every possible effort to attract or entice Mora to him gan bhuil without delay. Neil Einrod Uig. Now I'm going to give you one of my absolute top phrases here this morning, guys. Neil Einrod Uig. From here to here, write it all down. Neil Einrod Uig ach a rúl anriata galrach féin a hosav. All he wants is to, and we start at the end, a hosav, to satisfy a ghoul. You would know the phrase dúil hopefully, which means a desire. So his desire, anrianta, untamed, galrach, morbid. So all he wants to do is satisfy his own morbid, untamed desire. So there's a top phrase for every one of you to take away this morning or this afternoon. Is cumalesh gwilche ag déanamh agora. He couldn't care less. Gwilche ag déanamh agora arhi. That he is committing an injustice, if you like. He is doing something wrong to her. Nor dershe Níor éid she riomh a bheith ina bancéile cheartdom. She could never be a proper wife to me. Okay? So is cínta go dtigann sé céir atá dhéana aige. It's not a phrase you could put in there somewhere. Mi ragrach is irresponsible. Dúirt mé níos luithe freagrachtaí, responsibilities, dúilgaí, duties. So mi ragrach, irresponsible. Buine sé úsáid as an tarrá. He makes use of an tarrá, repetition. So if you've done any of your poetry work, you'll know arrá is repetition. So buine sé úsáid as an tarrá chun í a bhealach an ihe sin sa teach scoile. So he makes use of repetition. Nuair a bhí siad in an éanaram when they were there together in the teach scoile. Úsáidan sé an nach cainte mura méach tusa. He uses the term an nach cainte, the phrase mura méach tusa. Now you really do need to focus on using this in your quotes. Mura méach tusa. If it wasn't for you, right? If it weren't for you, Kera hura asa kela. Now this is important. So he uses it 4 times. Nuair tá sé ag cur dalamalóg arhi. Now, the phrase ag cur dalamalóg means hoodwinking, right? Fooling, right? When he is trying to make her when he's trying to make her do something she doesn't want to do. So Kera hura asa kela. 4 times he uses this. Nuair tá sé cur dalamalóg arhi, when he's trying to fool her or hoodwink her. Onus go sásóg sé a rúil rúisiúil féin, so that he could satisfy his own lustful desire. A gúil rúisiúil féin. So onus go sásóg sé, mó cnílach. And I have a little trick for you in the mó cnílach tomorrow as well, so I might finally put that one to bed for a few of you. Onus go sásóg sé a rúil rúisiúil. You can put féin at the end of that, or just leave it as it is. So I'll go through all that line again because it's a very, very important line. So úsáidan sé nach cainte uses the term mura méach tusa, if it wasn't for you, Kera hura asa kela 4 times in a row when he's trying to ag cur dalamalóg, or he's trying to hoodwink or fool her. Onus go sásóg sé gúil grúisiúil, so that he would satisfy his lustful desire. Okay? Súla diad tá sé sin soléir. Hopefully that's fairly clear to you. Mura méach tusa ní éad fin é cheasamh, but for you I wouldn't be able to stand it. Mura méach tusa rachin as ma bhear, but for you I go out of my mind. So tá na línta sin fear háta chu fad. Teispáineann sé go dtigann sé go soléir. He shows that he understands very clearly ghuill égor á dhéanamh aige. Right, so an égor is an injustice. Ghuill égor á dhéanamh aige. He shows that he understands very clearly go soléir ghuill égor á dhéanamh aige a bhancéile. So he is doing an injustice to his wife nuair deir sé. Náfscríobh chuamach irid. Don't write to me either. Ní bheadh is a good cé yoke and litter. You'd never know who get the letter, i.e. an bhancéile atá aige. Bar leis an soiris seo a chamad faoi ceilt. He would much prefer to, and this is again rud úfásach égorach. Bar leis an soiris seo a chamad faoi ceilt go Joe. He'd much prefer to keep this courtship concealed, a ceilt. So he'd much prefer to keep it under wraps, go Joe, forever. Hig sé go maith, he understood very well an fiall a bhí imirthe aige. He understood very well the treacherous deed or the treacherous act an fiall. So you know the old seanachal fillan an fiall or an fiallra. What goes around comes around. Hopefully you know that one. Hig sé go maith an fiall a bhí imirthe aige. He understood only too well the treachery that he had played or that he had committed. Agus go méach go leor feiban aige, and that he would have a lot of problems. Dá gluiseach aine faoi or dá gluiseach ain duine faoi. So dá gluiseach if somebody was to hear about it. So dá gluiseach mó cnílach arís if somebody were to hear about what happened. Dá gluiseach aine nó dá gluiseach ain duine faoi. Okay? Will ein ceise go buinte seo, mátá, seo gíisteachid. Hopefully we're going okay here. So I just tá gá scála an eile le déine going. We've 2 more charts to get through here, and then cúpla ná ag an deire. Bhí sort plan a gum chun beidir Quizlet bio dhéanamh live madan. I don't know, have you ever done Quizlet live? It's like Kahoot. Ach bhí me faoi bhrú madan just le cuasaí chailig with stuff, and the family is just under pressure. So níor airig lom an rud a chur le céile ach tosómid leis an nas sin amórach. We can start with that little link tomorrow and see does it work out okay. Alright, so we'll go from there. Alright, Kid Credella. Ach fui mar tomid ag sú leis, but just as we're expecting, Trégan Pádraig Mora. Pádraig abandons Mora. So Trégan Pádraig Mora, he abandons her. Go garid tréis dí á álamach very shortly after she found out gwil she turach. Now, ní bhór sé amach faoi seo. He did not find out about it, but it didn't really matter. Trégan Pádraig I go garid tréis dí álamach. Very soon after she found out she was pregnant, he abandoned her anyway. Ní bhachan sé le níos mó. He doesn't bother her anymore. A Pádraig. Ní Raud no ní raibh tú Rome a nacht faoi mar a gheall tú. You weren't there before me tonight as you promised. In other words, you weren't there with me or waiting for me as you promised. Níl ein chadravige lehi. He has no association. Níl ein bhuint. A lot of people use the term bhuint. So you could actually put that in there if you wanted as well. So níl ein bhuintige lehi. He has no association or connection with her tréis a baile ágáil after she left her home. Don't forget, a baile is her home. Ní haspánan sé an díalseacht céine. He doesn't show the same loyalty. So we're talking about díalish earlier. Agus is duine míile sé. So díalseacht is loyalty. So ní haspánan sé an díalseacht céine is a haspána mora dó that Mora shows to him. Ní luhib me danam no ní scrífa me chuat. I will not mention your name and I will not write to you. So it's duine fíorhíle she. She's an extremely loyal person. Again, looking at some answers in a few days time about Mora, you'll see that. Ní eicimid Pádraig's drama ríis. We don't see Pádraig in the drama again. Gudí gníomhadó rarca sé. Now, the question I'm commonly asked, right, is how should you reference this? Okay, some people in their answers write down GN to or a she, right? I think personally, and it's only a personal preference, that you should write down the term when it's part of a sentence. If we go back earlier to some previous quotes that I was giving you, you can actually do it in a different way as well, like this. So it's really up to yourself. It's a personal view. I'd be inclined to go with the idea that you'd write down the term gníomhadó rarca sé. It doesn't take that long to do, and you'll only do it a couple of times anyway. So that's just a personal thing. So we don't see him again in the drama until we get to gníomhadó rarca sé. Beagnach ag der an drama. Agus an Norvulan sé le Mora I Jack Mali when he meets Mora in Molly's house. Is léir gwil úfás it's clear that he's horrified. Is léir gwil úfás it's more than clear that he's horrified. Gwil úfás Nor ein sé amach faoin iní natá when he finds out about the daughter he has. Dúiltíonn sé féchant Pádraig an Lanavog. He refuses to even look at her. Ná déin, ní mílo mi echá. Don't do it. I don't want to see her. So it's duine fear. Well, it's duine úfásach, lehlasach ag an buinte seo. He's an incredibly selfish person at this point. Agus an rud is massive faoi ná is cuma less teach faoi. He couldn't care less. No fuhi should say about Pádraig, right? It's duine úfásach. Tuigeann sé go bhfuil sé I bunk. He understands only too well that he is a bunk. Now, if you're a bunk means dot. If you say Leavingcertirish.com, I'm saying it the whole time. But thinking shig will say bunk is a different kind of a meaning for punk. He understands that he's in a fix, he's in a jam, right? So he really knows this. Agus is sé an leiscéal a thugann sé the Wara, and the excuse that he's giving to Mara is an leiscéal, so you know the phrase gam a leiscéal, we can't gum dul gedi an leras, you know well. So an leiscéal a thugann sé the Wara, and the excuse he gives to Mara is ná go bhfuil sé posted the van ella, is that he's married to another woman, Colleen a fóshe, a girl he married, nor for a head van boss when his first wife died. So he didn't wait around our Pádraig. Alien sé on ragrocht. Now, actually, there's two ways of interpreting this. So let me just put in the correct version. I'd like you to write down first. Fragrocht tish mahora would be parental responsibility. When I originally wrote this, I was thinking about he escaped from the parents' plural responsibility. So there's kind of two ways of interpreting it. You might want to go with the singular version possibly. I'll leave it up to you to decide what you want to do. But Alien sé on a vragrocht tish mahora would be the first version possibly to go with. He escaped from, because this again is from their parents' responsibility. So just be careful how you write it. If you go with from his, you'd need to change it to on a vragrocht to on a ragrocht. Okay. So and split them up. So on a ragrocht tishmahora, if you want to go out from his parental responsibility. If you're going with my original version, it's he escapes from their parental responsibility, plural. Aristella, yet again, mar in Yernadol, because at the end of the day, Neil Mas Madrage Vora. He hasn't got a dog's respect for her. He just couldn't care less about the poor girl. So Neil Mas Madrage Vora. He's no respect for her whatsoever. Neil Mas Madrage Vora. Is biogas on shiv a streepach. Now, a streepach is the term for a prostitute in Irish, or a stripper. So a prostitute, the two are the same. You prostitute. So it's a horrible. It's bulla marfoche show. This is a deadly blow. A bunk aim means in a fix, in a jam, in a bit of a situation, in a tight corner, right? If you just want to maybe use a phrase you'd use in English, in a tight corner. He's caught out, right? In a fix is the other option as well if you want to go with that. Okay. Nor a glenche streepach or when he calls Mora a prostitute, and he refers to her as being a prostitute, is lergur builla marfach don van oge. It's clear that it's a deadly blow to the young woman. Skrishe, so when he refers to her being a prostitute, it's clear it's an absolutely deadly blow to her. Skrishe spirit agus dochus wara. He destroyed her spirit and her hope. Litten she is the other verb you could use there. Okay. Skrissen she, skris is destruction. So skrishe spirit agus dochus wara. He destroyed her spirit and her hope. Agus homon on far or chodach shomara, and this harmful man on far or korodach sho, he drove her. Chun love a churnabos fein to commit suicide. Agus kun a posta glota or and to kill her a posta glota, her delightful child, Rivre beforehand. So the rare a Genever on account of his actions, or Devora Genever should say, on account of his actions, Skrish she spirit Agus Docus, where he destroyed her hope. Agus Hamon she love a current boss fan. He just drove her into suicide, if you like. Kid Cudella an tain rod the vi ag tastal o Foric. The only thing that Pádraig wanted, an tain rod the vi ag tastal Foric na a rule grúisiúil féin a hosaf. So we had that earlier. So very important. The only thing he wanted was to satisfy his own lustful desire. Agus become leis faoin na himplachtaí. He didn't give one damn about the implications. But iminoch den chéad scothe. He was an absolute hypocrite. When we say den chéad scot, we mean top class. So in this context, obviously the meaning is he was an unbelievable hypocrite. Dinne nach will no nach rev, because we're, I suppose, in I'll come to that point actually in a minute about what tense you can do these in. Dinne nach will har Berta, a person you wouldn't recommend. So I wrote it in the present tense for that reason. A person you wouldn't recommend. Nor nach will rodegen har Berta is something that you wouldn't recommend. So a lovely phrase there for you to take down. Is dinne e nach will har Berta. He's a character, or his character, I should say, nach will har Berta. He's someone you wouldn't recommend. So not a nice guy. Nir hánig shilesh. It didn't occur to him. Few agasi marav, even as she was dead. Dilius a hashbont, dun Dorcas. He didn't think there was any need for him. It didn't even occur to him, even when she was dead. Dilius remorse a hashbont, so to show remorse, dun Dorcas a haring she hail an chalin oig sinata is I missing there by the way. An chalin oig sinata mora. So he didn't even think for a second that he needed to show any kind of remorse for the Dilius. I'm not sure to explain that. Sorry, gloominess, for the gloominess, or sorry, Dundorcas. I'm looking at two things here now at one time, so it's not helping me. A hashbond Dundorcas. He didn't show any remorse for the gloominess, the horribleness, a haring or hail and chalin oig sinata, that he brought upon the life of this young innocent girl, Mora. Okay. So, an bhfuil éon ceist again ag an buinte seo, sin iad na nótaí is tábhachtaí, and is lena mé raig go dtí scoileán eile nó sleamhna. I'll go on to another slide in a second, just looking at some key terminology of it, just on one slide, that will help you to kind of look at some of the key verbs in particular, and I'll just run through them so that you have them here. So bhfuil éon ceist again ag an buinte seo. So just rime tríd na náhanna seo. I'll run through these phrases. Agus má tá ceist seolg isteach nó seola isteach é as tá stúm féin. So náhanna úsáideacha lista iontach an seo. So find me amach, we find out. Aithníonn sé na bríomhar ar dús na cínas tátaí better. Find me amach, we find out. Aithníonn sé, he recognizes. Malan sé, he entices or attracts. Inchin she, he says. Ig déana bheith gora, doing harm or doing an injustice. Gusásóg she, that he would satisfy. Tashbona she, he shows. Hig or tigan she, he understood or he understands. Tregan she, he abandons. Nivakin she lehi, he doesn't bother with her. Jultian she, he refuses. Bulan she, he meets. Now that obviously means he hits as well, but he doesn't hit her at any point, thank God. Boulanché le column or whatever, or Boulanché le Mali, he meets with Mali. Cassincher, he comes across. Alienché, he escapes. Glenché, he calls, refers to. Hamonché, he drove. Skrisché and Litché both mean essentially he destroyed. Fragrach Tishmahori, parents' responsibility. Plural, a bunk in a fix, in a tight corner. Bulla Marfuk, a deadly blow. Dinna Morlara, a very important person. Sinanta, innocent, of mind. Urchoduk, harmful. Don't mix it up with Navar Choduk. Saturi, in the courtship, or in the relationship if you like. Galar gan lice, an incurable disease. Dúil anrianta galroch. Morbid, untamed desire. All goes backwards in English. So morbid, untamed desire. A curdalamalog, hoodwinking or fooling simply, an fiall, the treachery or terrible act, aspa díalseachta, a lack of loyalty, and ufasa is kind of like a horror of some sorts. Okay guys, so sin an ceacht an lá neo tá sé carú chuna héin, alright, so súla dia for sibh roint wá termíochta on gach seo. Hopefully you've got loads of terminology from this particular lesson. Mar dúirt mé hena tá na nótaí go léir ar fáil, híos click on the courses.Leavingcertirish.com link and get into our subscriber course where I'll be able to do even far more for you than I can do here. You'll have the notes available every day and much more. Agus, and I suppose really important thing, I haven't shown it to you before, a huge part of our courses, all of the lists of the learning lists, the flashcards that go across various different things, whether it's poetry on Triail, Ashty, all the different topics that you could be talking about in terms of vocab. This game has moved entirely to the written paper, so you really do need to equip yourself with the best possible information, and hopefully you're seeing from the exemplars we're going through here that you are getting the best possible information. Don't forget, by me bio Rish and Morok, so I love teaching stuff around grammar, guys. I really enjoy it, and tomorrow I'm going to try and put 8 or 10 really good things that will help you. I have a Tisha Ginnog lesson online already, which you probably have seen in my YouTube channel. So you can go in and check that, understand the basics of Tisha Ginnog. I don't know how many views are on it now. There's something like 8 or 10,000 people watch it already, and universally people like it. I think, was it a live webinar format? I did it in a couple of years ago, and it's proved a great resource for people. So go in and have a look at that. It would help you a little in terms of what I'll be doing tomorrow. What I'm going to try and do is focus on terminology related to what you'll be doing in your actual exam. And hopefully you'll get something from it that will help you in this whole effort to improve crinnes, fiáilsachar or the chumas scríb nóireachta, to improve your written ability. It's all going to come down to crinnes agus stor focal, agus I suppose stíl style as well. Do you write stuff in the brackets? Is that related to the reference breach around the reference to where the quote comes from? If that's what you mean, yeah, I would normally write the reference to where the quote is from in brackets, but you don't have to. It's not like a really hard and fast rule. Okay, so sinné be mi the rash and mark reached ag a doyug man lay scap and scale, spread around the news, tell people about us. Agus súla dia caroi me le rintwa dina idir seo agus Susan Scruda. Slán go bhfolín, gur magwih agus feic mé mórsih. Slán. Live again at 12 tomorrow, Eamon. Yeah, live again at 12. We'll be here. Same as every day, that's the plan. Tá fáilte roimh go léir. Alright, slán agus stopping me on streaming-ish. Okay, that's srach on, I suppose is what we call it. Slán a gcuibh.